Welcome to Garage Sales Unhinged.
where the characters are as quirky as the finds.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Jake.
Join us as we dive into the wild world of garage sales, yard sales, estate sales, and anywhere secondhand sales are happening.
From bizarre bargains to hilarious haggles.
You won't believe the stories we've got lined up.
Let's get unhinged.
This isn't like a super professional podcast. I know that shocks you, but
It really,
It's
it
fine.
really isn't shock. It does come as a surprise that you're telling us this now. This far into this thing. That
yeah, I've been listening to some other podcasts this week, and I will say, Jake, I feel like you and I are in a good spot with just mayhem and nothing really life-changing info. Because of the podcasts that perform really well, they're just a bunch of idiots. So I feel like we are in
Yeah.
good company with other idiots.
I think that's true. Like we're idiots in our own respect.
Yeah, I put a chip in my mouth.
Yeah. Now that's professional. This
Yeah.
is something like you're just having a good time out there, in the podcast effort zone. Just having some snacks.
Well, and also, I mean, hopefully no one thinks so. Our episodes come out Tuesday mornings at 7 a.m. Central Time. And if anyone thinks that we got up super early Tuesday morning to record and then quickly get it up into the podcast universe by 7 a.m., I really hate to break it to you and like pull the curtain from behind and show the wizardry of what podcasting is, because we're recording this weeks before this actually gets published. And while I have you on my screen in front of me, I actually have World Cup on my TV behind you. So as I keep looking over to the side, I'm just making sure that my bets are going to pay off.
Well, if you ever see my eyes cutting to the side, it's just because I'm checking myself out on screen. That's what's going on.
I knew it. You self-centered son of a, I knew it.
And no, like to pull the curtain back a little bit more. Julie's policy from day one, it's a good policy, is that when we do get together to record these things, we're recording 3 episodes back to back, and it's just makes sense so that we don't have to do this every week, because sometimes that's just not possible.
Right.
But by the time we get to the third topic, you can probably tell that we don't have as much in the tank,
And it's also like we try to make it seem like, oh, we're coming into a new week fresh. And so we try to like do some fodder before we get into it. And it's like, so is that a clean shirt?
I was just about to say, like I get up and change shirts between these things just to sell it a little bit more.
If we should ever go to a video podcast, we're going to wear a uniform. I'm not changing clothes between recording of episodes and stuff like that. Like we are just going to wear a podcast approved uniform. And then that way it'll just look like, oh, they just wear the same thing every episode. People don't need to know that we recorded all the episodes in one day.
I feel like our secondhand podcast uniform should be an Applebee's polo that we get from Goodwill.
That's an idea.
I've thought about buying like an Applebee's polo that you find on a Goodwill rack and just walking into an Applebee's and seeing if I can make my way into the kitchen and help myself to some fried potato skins.
Okay, I'm going to show my privilege here for just a second. Is Applebee's still open?
Yeah. Sorry, I guess since they stopped serving foie gras, you stopped attending.
Oh yeah, I don't go to places if they don't serve goose gizzard. Well, no, who shut down recently? I guess On the Border closed all their stores.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I bet you can actually find more On the Border polos versus Applebee's.
R.I.P. R.I.P. On the Border, your chips.
I know.
But that's no good. Like the point here is to buy the apparel so that you can get into the kitchen
You want to come in and be like, yeah, I'm the regional taste tester. I need to try your appetizers. 3 of the appetizers, 2 of the main entrees, and all the desserts.
That's
And I need
right.
it all out in 20 minutes. And just,
Yeah,
yeah. I think someone actually did that in real life.
really.
Yeah, I think it was like a fast food place. And so they would go to a fast food place, say that they were the regional um quality manager, and
Mhm.
would try a couple different things and then leave and go to another
Oh,
one.
yeah, man.
But I don't think they were wearing a uniform. They just walked in slacks and a shirt and a tie. Like,
Just
oh well,
walked in dressed in their confidence.
actually yes. And I guess this is like before there was no badges. There's no no one asked for identification. You're like, okay. And they eventually got caught, but yeah.
That's kind of my point here is like you go through some of these clothing racks in these places and you're like, oh wow, yeah, like that restaurant's down the street. These places are still operational. And unless there was a big change in what the employees are wearing, you kind of could pull this off to some degree. It'd be like Ocean's 11, just very low budget. It's like getting the crew together, Danny Ocean working to help me score some taquitos.
Can, can we please redo Ocean's 11 and just make it Applebee 6?
Yeah,
We couldn't get enough people, so we had to get 4 more people to join us. Also, maybe we limit it to the number of Applebee's shirts that we can buy from Goodwill, and then redo the whole Ocean's 11 plot, but for Applebee's. I feel like that
well,
would perform really well at Sundance.
that's right. Yeah, we need to get like Don Cheadle in there.
Oh, could you imagine if we just got all these Oscar winning people to but also they're not the main characters, they're just doing cameos.
Right. So,
I love it. I love this idea.
so I've been so it's become kind of a weekly thing for me to kind of check out my online auction bookmark and hey, what's going on? And
Sorry, Jake. I just want to point this out for everyone, but man, you got old real
yeah,
fast.
I know.
Because I feel like probably 40 years ago, somebody would be checking the weekly obituaries, and you're over here going, well, what's my online auction doing this week?
I'm aware of that. But the truth is though, like there's things I've bought on there, like everyday essentials, staples, as you may call them, that it makes like I'm saving tons of money getting them this way when they're available there.
Are you planning a garage sale, yard sale, or estate sale and need some help? Look no further than Garage Sale Supply. They provide top-notch resources and expert advice to help you host the perfect sale. From pricing tips to promotional strategies, they've got you covered. Visit garagesalesupply.com and make your next sale a success.
I will admit to you, God, and the world who all do listen to this podcast, big ups to the big man. I've bought toilet paper across this thing.
Clean toilet paper, unused toilet paper.
Yes, unopened, still new in package, but like huge thing of it that would have sent me back like, I mean, these days like close to $30, and like I'm getting it for like 12, and like cool, I am set for a long time now.
Yes,
So
you
like,
are.
honestly, it's like I've gotten to where like depending on what's listed on these things, it's not just oh here's a wacky ass vintage ashtray or piece of furniture or something. It's like no man, like hey here's a whole bunch like bags of honey roasted almonds that are in date. Go for it.
I mean, I've seen some of the auction items, and again, you essentially pulled the fast one on the big box wholesale stores, so like a Sam's Club, a Costco, something like that, of going, yeah, they sell a bunch of toilet paper that you can buy at one time, but you undercut them by going to an online auction that was selling it, which is great. Like we buy our toilet paper from one of the big box stores because hey, I'd rather
You're
have,
crazy. Yeah, you guys
yeah,
are
that is
very
my
well off. You to
that
buy
is my
them.
privilege. That is my privilege. I poop at home with my Costco toilet paper and not at some stinky Applebee's.
Yeah, I was about to say that's part of the advantage of having that Applebee's polo is that you can just make your way into the bathroom. And technically, are supposed to wash your hands after, according to the
Technically.
sign. But
Oh my gosh, that would be such a that would be a horrible prank. But wearing like a polo of a food establishment and just every 20 minutes go to the bathroom, not even use the bathroom, just go to the bathroom, go into the stall, wait for somebody to come in, and then like as you're both need to go out and
yeah,
wash your hands at the same time, just walk out.
yeah.
Oh man, now I just want to be a menace to the health department.
Honestly, it really kind of alarmed me when I saw how many employee shirts, like company apparel, there is on those racks. And with like this presents so many security issues. Like you wear the thing and you could probably make your way into the back entry to a lot of these places because the people working there, these are kids that are on hourly. They're not paid enough to really give a damn. So,
Yeah, having been
what's-
one of those people before,
oh yeah,
I wouldn't have cared.
yeah. I mean, I'm a shareholder in my current company. I don't give a damn. I'll let people in.
Yeah.
You want some mozzarella sticks? Go nuts.
Ugh.
But
Sorry, where were we going?
I'm checking my online auction thing, and there's times I go on there. I'm like, man, there's nothing. This is garbage. Nah. And there's times I'm going on there. I'm going, wow. I get really excited, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna try to get this and that. Have you ever, Julie, caught yourself while you were doing the secondhand shopping? And have you ever had a moment of self-awareness where
Yes.
you went,
Oh, sorry.
well,
Keep
like
keep going.
you are who you are like 6 days out of the week, but then you get into this secondhand shopping situation and you have this moment of self-realization or self-consciousness, and you go, why am I actually considering this item? Why
Yeah.
am I interested in that's happened to you too?
Oh God, yeah.
Like does a particular item come to mind for you when that happened? Like you know who you are. And then you go there and you see this thing and suddenly who you are changes. I'm now a person that needs to have this porcelain frog.
Did you mention that because that's what I buy you?
Yeah. That's what came to mind.
Um, so here's my thing, and I've done this several times, and I think I've mentioned before, I'm a minimalist. I don't like to have a lot of things around the house that collect dust or that it has to be dusted or has to be cleaned or can be broken or can be stolen. Like I just don't need all that clutter in my life.
You're living a streaming life. No physical media for you.
Yeah. So, however, whenever I go to these secondhand sales, whether it's a garage sale, an estate sale, a boutique store, whatever it may be, and I find something and man, it looks really unique. And I look at the price and I'm going, man, that's a good price. I'm like, I'm going to get it. But then I'm like, why?
Wow. Right.
Yeah. Like,
It's a bargain. That's a good deal.
like I feel like I need Marie Kondo on my shoulder that says like, does it bring joy? And if not, yeet it out. Like I don't need all this stuff. But it's really hard when I'm like, I mean, I do this whenever I go shopping at our niece works at a clothing boutique in East Texas. I went to her clothing boutique a couple weeks ago. I didn't need anything.
Mhm.
I bought 4 items.
Did you do
And
that to support her?
well, I asked her, I was like, do you get commission off of this? And she's like, no. And I'm like,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
But I will say, like a couple of, not a couple of all the items I bought, I don't think I spent more than $12 or $13 on an item. And I was like, man, I can't get this cheaper anywhere else. And this store also launders everything before they put it out.
Mhm.
Everything's in really good condition. So I was like, I have to get it. Jake, I haven't worn any of this. Oh, I wore one thing because it was I bought a knitted American flag vest that I wore for the 4th of July.
Okay.
It
Class.
was rad.
I hope you had like the wraparound shades and a mullet going at the same time.
Close. It was all very close.
But I feel like what you described there, though, was a little more practical. You're looking at these things, seeing like what really kind of maybe what initially spurred your interest was that, wow, that's a really good bargain for something that it's not it's not of a category that you don't purchase at other times. This is apparel. It's clothing, right?
Okay, so what you're talking about of like an impulse buy, it's the teeth, the dentist teeth that I bought.
Okay. So yeah, you're referring to like the big tooth model thing that you bought at the Texoma trade days.
Yeah, with the whole intention of making one of the teeth a gold tooth because I thought it would be funny. There's sometimes that, and this is what happens whenever you have discretionary funds.
Mm-hmm.
You buy things just because it makes you laugh.
Like the Washington Post or something like that.
Yes, like the Washington Post. But there was a point in my life that like, hey, I can't afford that because I needed to buy eggs or I needed to buy toilet paper or like I didn't have extra money. And now that I have a little bit of extra money, I'm like, why, yes, I do need that, gigantic mouth model that I'm going to put some gold on. Like, it's stupid stuff, Jake.
It kind of sounds like listening and acting on our intrusive thoughts is really more of an economic indicator than anything. Like,
At least my intrusive thoughts are like, hey, Julie, that's funny. And not like, hey, Julie, kill people. Like,
right. And
sometimes
sometimes that's a bit of a Venn diagram, you know.
now I'm laughing of like what that overlap would look like and who would be in the middle that, hey, if you kill them, that would be funny.
And right in the middle, it's an Applebee's polo. So I'm looking through these things and I've caught myself doing this a few times. There's times on there was like, you know what, this is a practical choice. That's a good price for an unopened giant jug of laundry detergent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm open a new tab. Oh, that's what it would cost on Amazon or Walmart or something. This is a steal. And I know where to stop bidding for it to be worth it or not. And sometimes it's totally practical. Sometimes it is, I know I can use this eventually. I know this will have some form of utility, or I just like to have that thing because it resides inside a category of things that it makes sense for me to have. But then there are times that I go on here and I go, I've been hornily looking at this item for a while, and it's in a category of stuff that makes no sense. I go on there. You made fun of me the other day when I was talking about the site.
No,
and stuff.
wait. Correction. I make fun of you most days.
It is true.
Okay.
It is true. This is why we only do this, occasionally. But I'm like, why am I looking at this samurai sword? Why am I looking at this Chinese hatchet? What am I doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? That is where your Venn diagram gets very scary.
Yeah. And so I sit here and I look at these things and going, I've actually bookmarked these items that I think are, and it's probably kind of what you're thinking is like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if I bought this?
Yeah.
I can't really see me using it. I just think like, hey, this would be a funny bit if I spent money on this thing. And and I'm like, is this who I actually am? Julie, am I a blade guy?
Please don't be a blade guy.
Right? Do I need to get really serious about the Wachowski film, The Matrix? Do I need to?
I just imagine you in your backyard with this like
Yes.
samurai sword and doing a whole like lightsaber routine in the backyard. But
Being
like,
very meticulous about how I set up the water jugs and watermelons and
yes,
completely missing them on every
yeah,
attempt. Yeah.
yes.
So Am I a Blade guy? Do I like neon lights? Am I a Disney adult pervert? No. Some people are, and it's really not okay. But
Wait, can you diagnose yourself that you aren't?
I know I'm not. I have none of their stuff. I have no interest in going. And
Okay.
I haven't entertained any of the Disney companies' memorabilia on these auction sites.
Yeah, I'm not a Disney person, so I
I
ain't
look,
buying any of that stuff.
I categorically deny any allegations and refuse to drop out the you know Disneygate controversy, as far as I am concerned, is libelous and untrue. So here's my question: when we are in the mode to make a discretionary purchase, do we go through some sort of change? Do we become someone else? Or do we become closer to our true selves in that moment?
This is very deep, Jake.
Yeah,
I wasn't
no.
prepared for this.
No. Well, this is the good stuff you can get from a guy that will buy toilet paper from somebody in front of a storage unit.
And almost bought a samurai sword.
Yeah.
You know, I will say whenever I buy, let's take for example the funny teeth, right?
Mhm.
Whenever I buy something that just makes me giggle, makes me laugh, makes me happy, right? I envision a future Julie that is just happy. Like that, like
Not Julie right now, but maybe
no.
some undefined future Julie that has space for happiness in her life.
Well, because I mean, here's the thing. Like people knew me before I bought the mouth thing. And now I'm
Yeah.
a different person because I own it now. And like, man, that just because it's like, and I've been asked this question before as like an icebreaker type thing. What's the craziest thing you have in your office or your home that people wouldn't believe that you actually have? And before I bought the mouth thing, you know what I used to tell people? I have a velvet painting hanging in my living room. Like that was
That's a
the
good one
craziest
too.
thing.
Yeah.
But it's also, yeah, I still do. Like, but I don't think it's the craziest thing because I inherited from our grandmother or grandparents and like it reminds me of my grandparents. Like it's a sentimental thing for me. Now the mouth thing, the craziest thing that I have. And then it's like whenever I get to tell that story, I get to come across as so unhinged and I just don't care what other people think. And I bought this thing because it just makes me happy.
So I find it really interesting that here I'm thinking, hey, do we become somebody else in that moment? Does the true self, surface more than it usually does? And kind of what I think I hear in your answer is that your purchase, and like that one, for example, was more aspirational. Like I'm gonna buy this thing and I can see myself being happy. Like it's an attempt to buy my happiness, but you're kind of going like, if I do this, I can see, yeah, I aspire to the happiness I feel like this thing will enable.
It's a prop of my life. Like I just think it's funny. And like I'm even going back, let's talk about clothes, right? Because secondhand clothes, big industry.
Totally.
And, do you buy the clothes because out of necessity? And I would say in America, for most people, no. You buy them because it's your style, it's your aesthetic. It's something that helps you become more of who you are, or
More
it
than
helps you become the person you want to be. So,
yeah.
they say dress for the job you want. One time I remember somebody in my HR department said dress for the job you want. And I had gone to a Beyonce concert the night before and I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to wear what Beyonce wore that day, which was like a leotard and they were like, no, 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 no. I was like, no, I'm
That's the
not
job
gonna
I
do that."
want.
I was
Like
like, "Mm,
that, Applebee's manager here.
yeah. But I think about that too of like, and there's been times where I've had to buy clothes secondhand because I couldn't afford the new thing, but I needed the clothing for my job. And was my job who I want it to be? No, it was going to help me become the person I want it to be. And so like I think with the secondhand, I say secondhand, but like whenever you purchase something, whether it is, hey, I'm going to buy toilet paper that is ridiculously cheap because it's going to allow me to save money on something else or put it towards something else that I want to spend my money on. Like, hey, I want to be a more frugal person. I don't want to spend frivolously so that I can afford a
Right.
dentist mouth model and a future flea market. So I don't know. I think
I
it
don't
would be
know.
kind of a problem if I had several of them. I just have one.
Yeah, you don't want to go overboard with the fake teeth. That's just too much.
Well, I did have a fake grill at one time, and I did get rid of that recently.
What a shame.
I know. Pour one out for my homies.
R.I.P. fake teeth. Man, they're just dropping like flies out there. On the border, fake teeth.
Yeah.
Well, no, I feel like what you're describing is kind of a topic that we've touched on a little bit here and there on the pod here. Is sort of in the secondhand space. There was a time, and I feel like the perception of the secondhand market, and honestly, the reality too, used to be more likely that it was a necessity thing. And it's becoming more a mixture of necessity and discretion. And it really depends on where you reside in the widening economic divide in the country.
Yes. Very
Like
true.
it's still a really great, option for people that need to make the dollar stretch a little further. But because it's gaining more, because it's become perhaps more like acceptable for people with discretionary income to participate in this thing, it leads to more scarcity for people that would use this as kind of like their initial choice. Uh, so I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, I'm glad I passed on the samurai sword because there's probably somebody out there that really needed it, truly needed it, and they didn't. I'd rather they not go to the big box store to get a Costco samurai sword. They could get a potentially quality one.
Could you imagine? Man, if I could talk to someone at Costco and be like, can I please get a Kirkland samurai
Mhm.
sword? I need it for Christmas to gift to my brother.
That's right.
Kirkland brand. We
That's
needed
right.
to open up the bags of chips.
I'm gonna use it to cut the giant hot dog.
Again, I'm just picturing you in your backyard with a bunch of chips that like a bag that needs to be open, and you're like, I got it.
You got the sword, you might as well use it for every damn thing that needs opening. Oh, sweet, some mail got delivered.
Yeah. Ugh.
But no,
That-
it was just I had a moment of introspection. They come rare. Uh, but I don't know. I was looking at these things and bookmarking items I wanted to come back to when the auction closes this evening, and I went, wait a second. Am I that person? Is this who I am? And he was like, no, it's not. This is me being having a wild hair. Uh, so you're listening to the voice of a reformed blade enthusiast. I've not bought one, and now I realize I'm free. I don't have to buy any blades when I have two lethal weapons right here.
okay, for those that are not looking, well, I mean, there's no video. Jacob just held up both of his fists.
Yeah,
So that's what he's considering.
watch
his
out.
weapon. Okay,
Try to take
cool.
my toilet paper. When you visit me, Julie, you better bring BYOTP.
My dude. Okay, I will. I will do that.
Well, that's what I got this week. It's just food for thought. Food for thought while you're, finding ways to get those mozzarella sticks on the down low.
I like it, Jake. It also, I mean, it is something for people to think about whenever you're out shopping, whether it's secondhand or buying something brand new. Why? Why are you doing it?
Yeah, if it's not a necessity, That's okay. Not to say that's wrong or anything like that, but really assess whether that's something. Is that who I am? Am I an Applebee's employee? Yes, according to this shirt, I am, and I do
Jake,
it to
I
help
I'm
myself.
gonna I'm gonna find all the Applebee's polos that I can get. You're gonna have a closet full of random businesses of their polos, and we are going to clean house at
I
these
think
companies.
I'm surprised no one's done it yet. Or honestly, people probably have. There's just it. How would they get caught?
I feel like we need to get some quality control manager badges and start making some house calls.
Hmm.
I like this. Jake, this is a good topic. I appreciate you bringing it.
No problem. We'll next update. We'll we'll give our reviews of Applebee's apps.
Bye.
Bye.